Well, are you looking for a tasty treat this Monday? Yes, well, I certainly am, but I'll look no further.
Yes, Kelly Lou King is in the kitchen this morning. She's got her own theme tune, and she's here with an apple and blueberry loaf
theme
cake.
tune, wow.
Love it, because we're sick of banana bread, so this is a welcome change.
So this is nice summery one. You can kind of put whatever you want in this. If you don't like apples, put in pears. You could add raspberries. So you can kind of change it around to suit what you like.
And it stays nice and moist, presumably, with all
It
that
stays nice
fruit.
and moist. Yeah, I find loaf cakes are nearly better the next day as well.
Ah, okay.
They're always nicer.
So what have you got? What's in the blender here?
So in my food processor, I have 125 grams of butter, and I'm going to add to that 225 grams of self-raising flour. This is my recipe I learned off my mum, and she always made it in a food processor, so I just always did the same. If you don't have a food processor, you can do it in a regular stand mixer. Just change it around a bit, as in cream your butter and sugar first, and then add in your flour.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pulse this quickly together.
And would that be just, can you use your hand? No, it would be take
You could use your hand as well. It'll take you a bit longer, but you can. It'll work perfect.
Okay.
The best thing about food processor as well is if you forget to take your butter out of the fridge, you can put cold butter in, because it will chop it up, whereas with a mixer you need to have your butter at room temperature. To that I'm adding 125 grams of caster sugar. Just mix that in quickly.
So what sort of apples do you use then for this?
So for this I'm using, so in the one you have there I've used Pink Lady apples. You're better off using eating apples with this recipe, because cooking apples are that little bit more sour. So you'll get a sweeter taste from these. And cooking apples will go a lot softer as well. So these kind of tend to hold their shape a little bit better.
So proper eating apples are best for this.
Granny Smith, Pink Ladies, any of the eating apples would be perfect. So I've just added 2 eggs into that.
Okay.
Pulse it again. And then I'm going to add...
This is foolproof, this is. I could even do
easy.
this. Yeah.
A tablespoon of milk. And I'm going to add in a drop of vanilla extract as well. And we're just going to mix it till it comes together as a batter. And it's kind of a really... thick batter, so it's a lot. You'll see it's a lot thicker than your usual kind of cake batter,
cake and stuff.
Which helps as well hold the apples down.
And this would be, so if you're going for a picnic, whatever, out with the kids, like, yeah, a loaf like this would be so handy, wouldn't it? Just wrap it up, stick it into the picnic basket.
Film, or wrap it up in greaseproof paper.
And what would you eat with it? Would you just kind of, I know you had some blueberries with ours, but...
No, some fresh cream would be really nice on the side, maybe a dollop of ice cream.
Really?
They'd be really nice with it.
And I see you've got some marmalade over there. Is there a reason for that?
So that, actually, we use that to glaze it at the end after it bakes. It gives it a nice shine when it's finished. It just kind of dresses it up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to put it on.
So I have a 2-pound loaf tin, and you can get these loaf liners in a lot of shops. They're really handy. Just if you don't have them, just grease your tin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in. Now, you'll see it's a lot thicker, so I kind of spread it out around the bottom. So I'm putting in half the mixture.
Sure, it doesn't at all.
No, it doesn't pour. So I'm putting in half the mixture. Just going to spread it out.
Oh, so this is where the apple then comes in,
This is where the apple comes in then.
And would you always have apple kind of to split a loaf like this? Is that kind of...
No, you could leave out the apple if you wanted, if you didn't want that filling in the middle. Pear would be really nice as well, or raspberries would be lovely.
Gorgeous.
And then I've cut up my apples. I just put a little bit of lemon juice on them to stop them going brown. And I'm just going to place these down the centre. You don't have to be too fussy in the middle.
So it's not apple slices then, Kelly Lou? Just kind of chop it up. This is how I give my kids their
Yeah,
apple.
so I just thinly sliced the apple into little pieces.
Yeah.
If they're too thick, they're not going to soften. You know, they won't cook as easy. And then around that, I'm just going to pop in some blueberries.
And sorry, what did you say? You put some lemon on it?
So lemon will just stop your apples going brown. So if you want to have your apples prepared beforehand, little squeeze of lemon juice will just stop them browning.
No.
Like for your kids' lunch boxes as well, they say put a little bit of lemon juice if you're chopping up the apple into the lunch box. Because you don't do the school lunches, you see.
What do you mean put it into the lunch boxes? Like put it onto their sandwich?
So we have a child in school, you give them a lunch.
Yeah.
So you probably don't think
but where do you put the lemon? Like drop it into the lunch box?
Like a little squirt of lemon juice over to stop them going brown during the day. So when they're not eating their lunch
you obviously
until
chop
12.
it up for the kids, do you?
I do, yeah.
My daughter, she eats an apple.
Yeah, so do my poor old Finn's missing a couple of front teeth. It's just, you know, he's in transitioning between baby teeth and big teeth.
So with his sandwiches and stuff, does he not have sandwiches? Do they not get all lemony?
No, because it's a little... we're giving too much airtime to this. Not the type of lunchboxes, little compartments.
Sorry,
Kaylin. But anyway, it is a good tip. So lemon juice over the apple.
Yeah, you could if you wanted. If you didn't want to peel your apple, just slice them even thinner as well. The skin on them won't make that much of a difference.
Doesn't matter.
No,
That's a good
idea.
idea.
You can use that as well. So I've just put the other half of the batter on top as well.
Okay.
Spread it out. And then I'm going to get the rest of my apple, and usually I just spend a little bit more time doing this, kind of maybe layer them nicely so you get lovely
layers. That's how you get that pretty effect.
Down the centre, yeah.
And then, okay, right, that looks great, doesn't it? I'm going to try some.
So I'm going to have a taste as well.
This then is going into a preheated oven, 175 degrees for an hour, so kind of 55
God, it's long
minutes
enough,
to an hour.
actually,
It is, yeah, low and slow.
Oh, yummy though. It is like cake, it's just that bit thicker, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But the apple in the centre is really nice as well when you get that bit of apple.
So into the oven, and when does the marmalade go on?
So after your cake is cooled, when you take it out of the tin, after it's cooled, I get some, you can use apricot jam, you can use marmalade. I heat a little bit up in a microwave, and then with a pastry just, I just brush the top of it, and it just gives that nice glaze to your cake, so it just takes that dull.
Okay, so you don't have to put it back into the oven or anything?
No, just heat it up in the microwave so it's a little bit runnier and brush it on top, and it just gives it a nice finish.
Kayla, that is delish. Yeah, I'm going to polish all that loaf off in about 2 minutes.
Thank you.